we have to talk about one of the most important practices for technical riding, getting unstuck. This is a must-have drill. For beginners, using a slight uphill start and a small hole to put the rear tire in, we first start with an understanding of momentum. I always say, lack of momentum exposes flaws in your technique. When the rear tire is stuck in a hole, we have to find momentum, however slight. Pulling the machine back so the front tire is just in front of the hole itself, we've created an area where we can find that precious momentum. With a slight load on the throttle, clutch in, 1 foot on the peg, we start with the weight in our hips completely over the rear tire. Next, we use our body position to create counteraction into the machine. The steps happen quickly. 1, 2, 3. We step onto our peg with the foot that's on the ground, drive through the pegs, bringing our weight from our hips forward, and then release the clutch with a loaded engine. Creating the drive with our hips counteracts the machine and prevents a wheelie over. As you become more and more comfortable with this movement, increase the size of the obstacle you're practicing on. Finally, let's talk the beginnings of the double blip, wheelies, pivot turns, and pretty much everything riders want to learn. The clutch up. The goal here is repeating this practice in succession before you even try an obstacle. Riding forward, we hold a steady throttle with low RPMs. We first focus on maximizing our front suspension compression for an efficient lift. My knees move directly forward towards the radiators as I simultaneously pull in the front brake, clutch, and load the throttle. At my front suspension compression maximum, my clutch is in, my front brake is in, and I have a loaded throttle. With the rebound, I drive my hips back over the rear fender and I push down through my pegs while again simultaneously releasing my front brake, slipping the clutch with the loaded engine, then letting the throttle off. If you leave the throttle on, you'll probably wheelie over. The mix of suspension rebound, hip weight, and a loaded engine create an efficient lift that's the beginning of most techniques. Get this dialed and all the other techniques you want to learn will come easy.